All right. Shalom, I can start the lesson. We want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakadash. That one of the apostles and the great Muslim that taught us the truth. Peace and blessing to the sincere occupants of expression of truth and all true sincerity on the four corners of the earth to the lead. To you, I say Shalom. Cam the bread of your rock, Arayah from the great Millstone Miami camp. I come back to the spirit power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, making another lesson. Okay, in this lesson, I'll be going into how they get ready for inflation. If we would think prices was already going up, all right, but now you're going to see super inflation, being that the United States just bombed Iran. Okay, Iran is saying to cut off this shut down the Straits of Hormuz after the U.S. after that U.S. attack, and ultimately what that does, 20% of the oil comes from that area. Okay, so 20% of your oil is coming from that area. Once Iran shuts that place off, or that river off, okay, you are going to see a rise in prices, man. All right, you are going to see a continued rise in the price of the everyday um items, man. Okay, now you thought that you were not now you thought that you was adjusting to the super inflation now, but it's about to get worse. Okay, things are only getting worse and worse, man. Okay, now the U.S. bombed Israel, so now people are saying that Iran's sleeper cells are going to be activated in America. Okay, so get ready to see some crazy shit, man. Okay, to the spirit by Bashima Shai. Okay, it's a great thing. It would be a great thing to be a part of this truth, to have the wisdom and knowledge and the understanding of what's going on. Because as you can see, Jake is taking this so lightly, man. Jake is just being so ignorant, making jokes. Okay, well, the man of the Lord Ben was saying about this, man. And I'm gonna grab that too. Ezekiel 33 verse 33, man. Okay, we was been telling you that these, that what was coming and that inflation was happening, but y'all just took what we're saying through one ear and out the other. Okay, and just like the bull who cried wolf, that's like us in a sense, man. We was mourning, okay, day in and day out, okay, and guess what? Y'all didn't want to listen. Right now, y'all seeing what we're saying is true. We was called conspiracy theorists. Now, yeah. Y'all can't even say that we conspiracy theorists anymore, because what we were saying is happening, man. Okay, but this is the article. It says Iran reportedly moved to shut Strait of Hormuz after the U.S. attack. Okay, and as you can see, it already has a picture of the gas pumps going up. Okay, it says the Strait connects the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. It's one of the most, it's one of the world's most critical oil checkpoints. About 30% of global seaborne oil shipments pass through this narrow passage, a vulnerability that has become a growing concern and spiraling regional tensions. Okay, this is gonna cause tension. Okay, and a spike in prices, because when you cut off that passage for oil, it's gonna take longer to deliver that product, man. Okay, if you're headed somewhere, all right, and you already got a way that takes you 30 minutes, Okay, but now that way is cut off, and now it's gonna take you an hour to get to that place. Guess what you're doing, man? You're burning, you're burning more gas. Okay, now you got to spend more money on gas, and what does that does? And what does that do? Same, same thing with now. Okay, things are going to become more expensive and more scarce because the oil is not going to be coming in, all right, like how it used to. Now it's become something that is very, how can I say, not profitable, but valuable. There you go. Now oil is going to become more valuable, and the more scarcity of an item is, the more valuable it gets. Okay, if there isn't too much oil, all right, prices are bound to go up because there's not, so much supply. Okay, whole thing with supply, supply and demand. If there's a high demand in oil but a low supply, that only brings up the price, man. Okay, so now we are going to see hyperinflation happening very, very soon. All right. This is our Ezekiel 33, verse 31. It says, "And they come unto thee as a people cometh, and they sit before thee as thy people, and hear thy words, but they would not do them, but their heart goeth after their covetousness." Right, man. So our people, Jake, they are the biggest procrastinators. All right. They coming to you, yeah, man. I'm gonna do the right thing, man. I'm gonna stop eating pork. I'm gonna listen, man. I'm gonna listen. And then once they leave your presence, they go back to their wickedness. This not new for us to know about our people, man. Okay, we don't witness it for firsthand, man. We had people who told about the truth that said that they was gonna hearken, but they didn't hearken. Okay, 32, and it says, "And lo, it's them as a very lovely song, one that playeth well, no, one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, when they hear thy words but will not do them." That's right, man. They hear the words of the prophets, but they are not going to do them. Why? Because they living in their lust. The Lord gave them over to the Lord gave them over to their lust. Them gave them the money, the status, the fame. Okay, so they're not really trying to listen to the men of the Lord. But right now, it's playing right in front of your eyes. And people are seeing that. A lot of Christians saying now it's time to get right with God. But yeah, but y'all Christians don't got the truth, man. Y'all still preaching prosperity gospel in the midst of this Iran and Israel fight, man. Okay, this is this should be an eye opener to show you that we are on the brink of we are on the literally doorsteps of World War III. There is no reason there is no reason you should be preaching about prosperity. Preaching that prosperity bullshit. Okay, us as men of the Lord, and we are warning the people, telling you that World War III is about to happen. Famine of the world is coming. Actual famine is coming. Super inflation is coming. All right, and it's right at your doorsteps. Okay, you can't deny that we are on the brink of World War III. It's right in front of your face, man. And if you choose to ignore it, you are being ignorant. Because right now, people are noticing how Iran has sleeper cells in the United States, and the FBI has said that. FBI said that there are sleeper cells in the United States that that they've known about, and now the United States done bombed their homeland, and then you think that they're not just gonna do anything? It's about to get real scary out here, man. Real scary. Okay, but the men of the Lord has been saying that, been warning you, been telling you that these things are gonna happen. But guess what you chose to do? You chose not to listen. That's why Ezekiel 33 says, "And when it come to pass, Lord will come." So everything that we were saying when it came to war, famine, inflation, is prophesied to come. It's prophesied to happen. Then shall they know that the prophet has been amongst them. It's been a rewinding, in Jake mind like that to a raven. Okay, like they heard it before. Okay, and we know that our people are the biggest procrastinators. One thing you can't do is procrastinate with the Lord, because once you see that everything is happening, right in front of your face, that's when you're gonna remember the prophets of the Lord. That's when you're gonna remember what your friend that was a Hebrew Israelite was telling you, and you chose not to listen. But y'all gonna pay the real consequences of it real soon, man. When y'all go to the store and eggs is $20, man. Eggs is $20. Oil is, gas is $5, $6, $10. All right. We saw a spike in oil and gas already. Oil is going to become more expensive. Okay, and this is not going to be a war with just Iran and Israel, man. The U.S. just joined in this, man. Trump said that he was going to give it a 2 weeks notice on the decision to bomb Iran, but the next day he went and bombed Iran. I understand the time that we're living in, brothers. Okay, keeping your eyes peeled because the time draws nigh. Okay, we got this precept. Being that we're going to see hyperinflation. Grab it. This is Matthew 24, verse 12, and it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." So iniquity is going to abound. Okay, prices going up. Food is going to become scarce. All right, love of many is going to wax cold due to this super inflation, due to this ongoing war or just now starting war. Okay, and don't you think that Russia just sitting here in the background, not thinking of a plan? Okay, they are thinking of a plan as well. All right, and all of Iran's allies, China, okay, North Korea. I understand that, man. Okay, but this wasn't really a two. Just wanted to hit it on the head. Not nothing too long, but showing you how we are living in some exciting times. Okay, inflation is coming, superinflation is coming, war is already here. All right, all we're waiting for now is the famine in the world and the famine in the world and the MOTB to become mandatory. Okay, and then we out of here, man. The Shalom was edified with that. I do want to give our praise and our glory to you. How about Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kakadash. Devil want to start Paulson and the great millstone. With that, I want to say shalom.